Hi everyone, Sabrina here with a book review video for you. I have just finished the first 15 Lives of Harry August by Claire North, having had it on my TBR list for about 2 years now. I picked this up to read because my husband read it on a whim on the beach and said actually it was a really good, different way of using time travel and time in a storytelling, and he really enjoyed it and said, you know, give this a go. So I gave it a go eventually, and I have to say it's very clever. It does use time, but not in the way you would think to use it, and it's quite reflective as well. You know, it follows the premise of a chap called Harry August, who effectively, when he dies, goes back to his original birth and remembers everything. And he keeps doing this. He is one of the special people in this universe who, they just don't die. And they go back and they relive their life, and then they relive their life with all the knowledge that they've gained beforehand. And it's quite a clever way of doing the whole, well, how would you change things if you knew the future kind of thing. And I like the way that it tempts Harry almost into changing his future, how it explores the conundrum of, you know, well, if you don't ever die, if you keep reliving your life, what would you do? Would you learn as much as you can, but then what's the point? Because you can't really share this with anybody. It's not going to make any difference. Would you change the future? Would you make life a much, much better place for everybody? Would you just say, well, to hell with it and party? Because there are no consequences for you. You will die and you'll be reborn and it'll go again. I did like that questioning of, you know, what would you do if effectively you were immortal? But the catch is with this one is you're stuck in your own time period. You're not immortal throughout time. You're immortal in this period of time. So I really did enjoy that aspect. It's very cleverly told. It takes a little while to get into. It's not an easy pick-up book because it's not told in a linear way at all. I mean, being time related, you'd expect some jumping about. Well, this one really does jump about between Harry's different lives. So you kind of have to have your wits about you because there's no sort of... Well, there is a structure, obviously, because of the story told, but there's no logical structure when you first start reading the book as to how the story is being told. So I would say that's probably why I didn't pick it up first time around, because it just didn't grip me. But I think it's one of those books that is worth pursuing, and once you get about 50 pages in at the most, that's it. You're kind of into the story, you know what's going on, and you're hooked. I really did like Harry. I thought he was a very clever person. He certainly had a fresh outlook on his whole immortality, as it were. And I quite liked how he used his lives. I think that would be something that I would like to do if I had this kind of life. But yeah, he was very relatable, pretty down to earth, and it's all told from his point of view. So you really get inside his head and that, but the way it's told, it's not, when he has a conversation, he doesn't always say his part of the conversation in quotations. He will often say, well, obviously I said this, in a more sort of sarcastic way in this conversation. So that was quite interesting how the language was used. My husband has read a couple of other books by Claire North, and he says by far this is her best piece of work. For him, this just works. It's very clever, interesting story and premise, and he did enjoy this one an awful lot. So I would recommend the first 15 Lives of Harry August. Obviously there's room for a sequel because, you know, this guy just keeps living and reliving. But I don't think there will be, because the story that's in here is wrapped up. It is its own conclusive story. But I think there's room here to imagine what could happen next. First 15 Nights of Harry August. Have you read it? If you have, leave your thoughts down below in the comments. Please be aware of spoilers, because some people obviously haven't read this. And I do like to keep my reviews spoiler free as much as possible. I would just like to shout out for the Bookshelf magazine. Link will be in the description box down below, which is an online book related magazine for all readers and book lovers. So you go and check that out and give that some love. That would be really nice. Thank you very much. As always, thank you very much for watching and happy reading. Bye.